Hello, I'm Troy Parker, President of Innovative Labor and Cleaning. Most of you already know that. I thank you for watching this video. Now, I hope that you'll watch to the end of the video. If you watch to the end of the video, you'll see how you can win money by participating and we growing together in this journey. So watch to the end. I know you can just skip to the end and see, but then once you skip to the end, then you're not going to have to watch the video. So then you're not going to be able to participate because then you don't know what the hell the video is talking about. So watch the whole video, and then at the end, you'll see how you have an opportunity to win money. Hello, I'm Troy Parker, President of Innovative Labor and Cleaning, and this is another Mental Health Monday. It's holiday time. Thanksgiving's a few weeks away, Christmas is right around the corner, and then there's New Year's. This is a time of joy and a lot of celebration for a lot of people. But then there are many who struggle during this time of year. There are those who the holidays may be a time of depression, sadness, and struggles. If you're one of these people, and sometimes, maybe in the past, they have been a time of enjoyment, but maybe now they're not so enjoyable. If you find yourself having a hard time dealing with the holidays, one thing I'd recommend is joining a support group. Many times you can feel lonely and isolated during the holidays, but there are many great support groups that will give you a sense of safety where you can share your feelings and connect with people who struggle with the same thing you do. Also, if you have difficulties with family members or someone at work, going to holiday parties, whether with family or work related, can be a stressful situation. I know in going to family get-togethers after I returned home from incarceration was a trigger for me. After going to prison, most of my family just dropped away. I didn't see many of them for the whole 7 years I was gone. So when I came out, I still did have some deep down animosity. And though we didn't see each other on a daily basis, when it came to gatherings, and that would happen around the holiday times, I would always get stressful about, well, how would I react and what am I gonna say? I'd have the one vision where, you see it in your head where you go off on them, you tell them everything you wanted to tell them that you had been storing up. And you would see, that might not be the right way to go. So what I did was I started visualizing situations where someone in my family would say something that might trigger me. But instead of responding in a negative manner, I would use the breathing techniques I've talked about in some of my videos where you stop, take in long breaths, count to 7. As you breathe in, hold it for maybe 2 seconds, and then release it back out, count to another 7. This allows you to stay calm, and then you're able to think more clearly. I would visualize one of my siblings saying something, but I would see myself calm down, and I would see it through my own eyes, so I wouldn't see myself actually doing it. I would be looking at the person talking to me, but I would see and hear myself respond in a calm way that I had already rehearsed. So when the situation happened, and it did happen multiple times at the same gathering, I was able to handle it in a peaceful way. That way, the get-together went off without a hitch. This also left the door open for later. My siblings approached me individually and we would talk out our issues, and they would explain to me how they felt when I got incarcerated, and I explained how I felt when they didn't correspond with me or visit. This allowed us to restart our relationship and move forward. Now, sometimes it might not be that easy for you. Some situations you might say, okay, if someone says, I really don't have the technique, or you haven't got to the point where you can calm yourself down, then look for a polite way to exit the situation so that you can continue to enjoy the event, and then maybe later, after maybe getting some counseling or practicing techniques, you can then interact with that person. Also, you can use the same techniques at a business function. If there's people that you work with, and we all have them, that we don't get along with so well, you can try to avoid them at a party. But many times, these things can't be avoided. Try to practice situations, see scenarios in your mind, and you might think this is silly, but most of the time, if there's someone you have a disagreement with or don't like, you've already played scenarios in your mind where you were going to tell that person off. People do it all the time. They'll say, well, next time they say this, and you'll play this little movie in your mind. So you're already doing what I'm suggesting doing. The only difference is this time, you're going to see yourself responding and handling the situation in a positive way that keeps you feeling in a state of peace and allows the relationship to prosper and go in a better direction. Also, during the holidays, it can be a time where we burn up a lot of energy. We're not really mindful. And when I say mindful, we're running from store to store, doing things with kids, family, and you're doing these activities, but you're not really enjoying them. Then the holidays are over and you're like, gosh, it was so fast, and you really didn't get to enjoy it, and you're just out of energy, you're tired. Because you never took the time while you're at the mall to sit, look at the lights, smell the fragrances, see the kids and the people laughing. Enjoy the time that you have. Whether you're walking with your spouse, your friend, or kids, take time to be mindful and enjoy all the things that are around you. So that way, at the end of the holidays, it's not like just a blur, it just went by and you don't really know what really happened. You just know you're tired and you got all this stuff done. That's why many people say they dread the holidays because they're like, I just gotta run here, go there, run there. They're not enjoying it. It's the journey, like they say. It's not so much reaching the destination, it's the journey to get there. These are just a few tips that might help you through the holiday. Always remember, it's up to you to make your life matter, and happy holidays. Okay, now we're at the end of the video, and I know everybody's chomping at the bit to find out, well, how the hell do we get some money? Here's how you get the money. You guys will receive the link Monday morning, probably around 9 o'clock. The first 3 people to respond back, and you have to respond back speaking on how the video has either affected you, could affect you, how you could use what the video talked about. You can't just text back and say, I like the video. No, this is something you're gonna have to put a little effort in. Now, at 6 p.m. Monday night, the first 3 people who send back their response of how the video either helped them, how they could use the video, something that you can tell the person watched the dang video. So for example, I have a video that talks about support groups and using support groups during the holiday. If someone texts back at 6:01 and says, hey, I use a support group because I struggled with alcohol addiction and the holiday time was a trigger for me. And so I would go to my support groups, get the support I needed, and it helped me get through the holiday season. That's a good response. But if you just text back saying, I like the video, or even if maybe you've never used a support group, you could say, hey, I struggle with anxiety around the holidays and maybe I could look into a support group. Does anyone know any? The reason I'm having you text back to the same number and not just put it on YouTube is that way it stays private within the company, because we're a family and this whole purpose of this is for us to grow together. There's a lot of things that I don't know that you know, and there's things I might be able to share with you that you don't know. It's as if we were all sitting around a round table. The room that we're sitting in is going to look different to each of us because we're sitting someplace different all around this table. And that's the same way life is. So there's some experiences I may have never experienced that you have that you could help me with. There's some points of view I've maybe never thought of because, you know, maybe I've never experienced it. I never experienced it coming from where you're coming from. So the whole thing is for us to build each other. So just remember, watch the video. You got all day to watch it. The first 3 people to respond back after 6 o'clock, because if you respond back at 5:54, 5:55, that's not going to count. It's after 6. You'll get the $50 gift card. Now keep in mind, sometimes it's not going to be 50. Sometimes I feel a little generous now. It could be 100. It could be 200. The whole thing and the point of me doing this is to get you guys to pour in to each other and to me, and we share with each other and we grow together. This business has grown not because of me, but because of all of us. I couldn't have done this by myself, and I know that, and I thank you all for all you've helped me to do, and I hope I've been able to help you. And this is another way to give back, because a lot of times people will see me and say like, hey, how'd you do this? Or how would you do this? And there's times I come to people and be like, hey, how do you think we should do this? Because I don't know everything, and you don't know what you don't know. So I hope you guys will participate. Please hit the like button, share the channel, because even people outside of the company could watch and gain things from the video. Now, the only people who can win the money are those in the Innovative family. So it's not like when the channel grows and we get 1 million people watching it, everybody can get the $50. It doesn't work that way. It's only the people who are teammates in the Innovative family. I thank you again, and remember, it's up to you to make your life matter.